This video will highlight the digital tool Socrative.com. Socrative is a web-based tool used to quickly assess student learning. With the increase of technology and blended learning as the new model to follow in a classroom, having access to student data is critical for this model to be effective. To begin using Socrative, launch any web browser and go to the website www.socrative.com. From the home screen, you'll either have the option for student login or teacher login. We're going to select teacher login. Here, if you needed to, you could create an account, sign in with Google, or sign in to an account if you have one. After signing in, you're automatically taken to the dashboard. From the dashboard, you can quickly launch a quiz, launch a competitive space race activity, launch a quick pre-made exit ticket, or you can create a quick question being either multiple choice, true or false, or short answer. Up here, this feature will allow you to see exactly how many students are logged into your classroom and participating on the assigned activity. Here, you can see the room name that students will use to log in to complete your activities. The first tab here, Quizzes, will allow you to either create or import quizzes. If for some reason you wanted an additional room name for different blocks of the day, you could create and manage those different room names here. When students take the quiz in Socrative, all of that data is automatically stored within the website, so if you needed to go back and access some old reports, using this tab would allow you to do that. The Results tab will take you to the live results. As students are answering questions, you can immediately see how they are doing. So let's launch a quiz. Here you will see a list of either pre-made or imported quizzes. We are going to select, for this case, two-step inequalities. After choosing the quiz, you get to select the type of delivery method you want to use. Using the instant feedback will allow students to get immediate feedback and let them know right away if they're getting the answers correct or incorrect. You can see that after selecting the instant feedback button that you now have more options here on the right-hand side. You can require student names, or if you wanted it to be anonymous, you could do that. You could shuffle both question and answer orders. If you wanted to shut off that immediate feedback feature, you could do that as well. And you could also allow students to see a final score. The open navigation allows students to answer questions in any order and change answers before finishing, but you can see they do not have access to that direct feedback here. The last option is teacher-based. Using this option allows the teacher to control the flow of the questions and allows you to skip or revisit questions as necessary. Once you've decided on your delivery method, go ahead and select Start, which will launch the quiz. After launching the quiz, it will automatically take you to the live results screen. Here, you can watch as students enter in the classroom and also their responses live as they answer each individual question. There are also some different viewing options on this screen as well. If you wanted to display the responses for your students coming in but wanted to protect their privacy, you could click here to turn off their names. If you wanted to just show their progress, you could also, and not show their answers, you could turn that off as well. If you wanted to alphabetize the list of your students for easy grading, you can do that here. You could also change how you view the results by selecting either the progress, how far they've gotten on the quiz, their score percentage, or the number of responses they've gotten right. Let's go back to the dashboard by selecting Launch. This time, let's select and talk about the exit ticket feature. This is a great tool because it requires very little work for the teacher. This is a pre-made option that includes 3 questions. The first question asks students to tell you how they feel about the content that was given today. You can see the options are they totally got it, pretty well, not very well, not at all. So allow them to privately tell you how they feel about the content from today. The second question asks students to describe in their own words exactly what they learned today. This is a great way to check for understanding of the content. The last question allows students to answer a question created by the teacher. If you have a question at the end of your notes on the board, or a question from their book or their notebook, they could go ahead and answer that, and you can check to see if they got the correct answer here. Very little work for you, but a lot of impact when looking at student data. We're going to now look at a report. So if you click on the Reports tab, you can see all of the old viewed reports here. And we're going to look at this report from Scientific Notation. You can use the Reports tool as a way of analyzing student data to see if students are mastering the content and who needs further interventions. I use this data as a way of formulating small groups. When pulling up the report, you can see the options that we discussed earlier. You could either show the students' names, you can go ahead and show their answers, and you can also look at the progress of the percentage of the completion, the score, or the number of questions they got correct. So if you look here at the score percentage, you can see that there's some hundreds, some 50s, some 25s. So if I were using this as a way of pulling small groups for the day, I would definitely have a low group here with these 25s and 50s. I'd have a medium group, all of these like 70s and 80s. And I'd also have a high group here with these 800s and 90s as well. So when looking at these reports, you can see exactly who is ready to move on and who may need some additional support with the content. I hope you found this video useful and will consider using Socrative in the future.